Today, Aldous Huxley will be joining us with an interview about his life and his famous novel, Brave New World. Alright, let's begin. Aldous Huxley, where are you from and when were you born?
I was born on July 26, 1894, in a small town in southern England. At a young age, my three brothers and I were forced to live up to the expectations of our intelligent relatives.
Very interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about your childhood? I hear you took a different path than most of your relatives.
Yes, indeed. My mother and father were both English school teachers who were fond of literature. However, most of my immediate family were renowned scientists. Two of my brothers, Julian and Andrew, became famous biologists. They followed in the footsteps of my grandfather, Thomas Henry Huxley, whom we called Grandpater. Grandpater was a controversial naturalist whose field nickname was Darwin's Bulldog, due to his help with the development of the theory of evolution. Although my grandfather was a famous scientist, I, however, ended up following the literature path of my parents.
Are there any important life events that happened during your childhood that affected you later on in life?
Well, first I'd like to say that my switch to literary ambition was not my choice. At the age of 14, I encountered a debilitating disease which left me nearly blind for several years. This disease prevented me from continuing my scientific research. I soon realized I must switch to literature in order to remain successful. And I did become successful. I did not allow my disease to prevent me from obtaining my English degree.
Where were you formally educated?
I attended Balliol College at Oxford University in England. While attending college, I faced various financial problems which forced me to work as a clerk in the Air Ministry of Defence. I was pursuing administration and business, however, my atrocious experiences while working at this job convinced me to pursue my true talent, literature. While studying at Oxford, I met a very influential writer, D.H. Lawrence, who became one of my closest friends and inspirations. From then on, I followed my true passion for literature.
Very interesting. What was your first formal book? What was it about? And how did it affect your later writings?
The first book I wrote was The Burning Wheel, which was published in 1916. To tell you the truth, it was not technically a book, it was actually a collection of the various works of poetry I wrote when I was young. I thought I would be destined for poetry, but this proved false due to the success I achieved from my later novels. The most popular of my writings was Brave New World, which is also my favourite.
Very interesting. Can you tell me a little bit more about Brave New World? What was your motivation and purpose for writing this novel?
During the time of the Depression, I was very outraged by the artificial cheerfulness, sexual promiscuity, and the selfishness of individuals in my society. Therefore, after witnessing the unemployment in England, I wrote a novel about the ideal society which was characterized by stability. The Cold War had begun, so I implemented the concepts of communist governments into my work. Through my writings, I hope to warn readers of the potential risks our society could face if we kept going in the direction we were headed. In Brave New World, I displayed the possible future danger of overusing technology as well as the threat communism has on society. All in all, I wrote Brave New World in efforts to inform the public of the potential dangers we face as a society.
I hear you moved to Hollywood after writing Brave New World. Can you tell me a little bit more about your life there?
Oh yes. In 1937, I moved to California and became a screenwriter in Hollywood. During my time in Hollywood, I continued to write novels and essays. In the 40s, I published a satirical novel called After Many a Summer, as well as Ape and Essence. While in Hollywood, I was awarded prestigious prizes such as the Award of Merit for the novel from the American Academy of Arts and Letters. The same award was also given to Ernest Hemingway and Thomas Mann.
Wow, what a great accomplishment. Can you tell me a little bit more about your later life and your death?
Well, I died on a famous day in history, November 22nd, 1963. the same day as John F. Kennedy's assassination. In addition, I also died on the same day as renowned novelist C.S. Lewis. On my deathbed, I had an interesting request to my wife, Laura. A few hours before I died from cancer, my sweetheart, Laura, injected me with LSD. Actually, this was not an abnormal request, because once I moved to Hollywood in the early 1950s, I experimented with various psychedelic drugs. At that time, LSD was completely legal. Also, modern studies have shown how psychedelic drugs like LSD can help you treat patients with cancer or stress disorders.
Wow, what a great story. Thank you for your time.
Thank you too. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That's a funny one.
Oh, Liam,
Yeah?
have you read this article?
No. What's it called?
Why Brave New World Has Fresh Significance in the Modern Day.
I have not read the article. What's it about?
Why Brave New World Has Fresh Significance in the Modern Day is a nonfiction article by Hannah Spencer, writer for the online magazine The Artifice, that highlights examples of how some of the dystopian novel's themes, including lack of privacy, dependency on technology, and excessive focus on consumerism, have become realities.
Cool.